make sure you are very clear on your brand direction. Because we did work with a brand before that they have no idea their direction, right? They don't know their own value proposition, which is very difficult for us, right? If we want everybody to talk about you, what is the value you can offer to the community or to the public at large?
Welcome to the iSearch podcast. Today we have Jess Tan, the founder of Youth Today, on the show. So Youth Today is a sponsorship and event management platform for youth and also brands. So today we talk with Jess on how to market your brands to the youth in Malaysia. So welcome to the show, Jess.
Hi, Wan.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So what is the current online behavior of the youth on social media, and also which platform has the highest potential for brands to tap into?
I think right now, right, basically there's just a lot of social media platforms. But I noticed along the years, right, that I've been working with young people or heavy social media users, right, different platforms actually attract different types and also genre of users, right. Let me start with TikTok, right. TikTok, basically, it caters for, I think, even as early as 12 years old. We even see that, right, 12 years old up to 22 years old. And these groups are the one that's consuming TikTok as a content creating platform, right? They use it to actually create content. Then we got the 22 years old and above, which they actually use the platform. They use it as a content consumption kind of platform, unless they are businesses, which actually TikTok is now focusing a lot on getting businesses on board to explain their product in a 1 minute pitch kind of thing. Then second type is the Instagram. Of course, there will be teenagers who's actually still on it, right? And then we also have a new platform called the Xiaohongshu, XHS, right? So basically, it attracts a lot of the Chinese crowd to it. And then we also have new platforms such as Lemonade, which they attract the English crowd. Where the content are very much more user generated, but it's more structured in a way, whether it's entertainment, travel, beauty, and so forth. Then we also have Twitter, basically, but Twitter is mainly used especially with the Malay crowd in Malaysia. And last but not least, Facebook. As much as I don't like saying this, but Facebook is getting towards older crowds already, which means those probably 25 years old and above. They actually use Facebook to consume information or more lengthy videos or useful information, things of such. And it's not very appealing to younger audience already. But nevertheless, Facebook still has Instagram, so that's where the younger audience are. So yeah, that's for me.
All right. I mean, let's say if we want to target the younger audience, right? Let's say not 12 years old, it means that younger audience that will buy from us, meaning let's say we're talking about 18 to 20, say mid-20s, 18 to mid-20s. So which platform would you recommend brands to go into? Is it TikTok or Instagram or another one?
Actually, it's very much depending on the brand's direction also, right? TikTok is, like I mentioned just now, TikTok is very much focused on the pitch, right? The product pitch, how it should be very entertaining and so forth. So if the product pitch, then TikTok will be a suitable platform, right? And a video kind of format. And also, for example, Xiaohongshu also, we noticed a lot of conversion for brands, especially using Xiaohongshu, because the Chinese crowd there, they convert them very fast. And it's also based through influencer recommendation. And I noticed a lot of young people tend to, follow a lot of the influencer trends. So Xiaohongshu will be one of them. And Instagram will be very photo pitch, this at one picture you are able to see what is it that the brand has to offer. So it very much depending on the brand's direction and how they want to carry out across the message to the younger audience.
What is the difference between Xiaohongshu and TikTok besides just language? For example, Xiaohongshu is Chinese. TikTok you have all three language, Malay, Chinese, and also English. So is it just the language difference? Anything else that is different that brands should take note of?
Yeah, because Xiaohongshu is actually started in China. I think they gained a lot of traction over just a couple of years, and they have more than 300 million users across the globe. and Malaysia definitely is actually following that step there. So the difference between TikTok and Xiaohongshu is that Xiaohongshu is very much very structured in terms of the content itself. Like I mentioned, it's very category. It categorizes the content. So if you have personally, let's say you are interested in traveling, for example, right? Then they have a category just for traveling itself. Like unlike TikTok is almost like unless you follow a certain the profile, then you get the content for it. Then you have all types of content on TikTok. On the other hand,
Okay, makes sense. So let's look at the distinct difference between marketing to the youth and also like marketing to like older groups. Let's say, 30 to like 50. Yep. So like, what is the key difference that brands should like take note of before? Like, what are some of the difference that they should like film or produce the types of content for youth versus like older groups?
Understand. Because our platform so far, we've been working with young people across like 10 years already, right? Since the past time. So basically, we noticed like from our youth also, they became like they grew up and they became an older generation. And also, we work with like two different types of them. The ones I noticed is like for young people, especially for the youth now, right? If you want to engage them, make sure that all the content needs to be entertaining. That's for sure. And then the content needs to be short as well, like short and punchy to get into them. And bear in mind that young people, their attention span is very little. So anything above 1 minute you basically lose them out already. Yeah. That's for the youth segment. So for the older segment group, like probably 30 and above, will definitely be useful information, for example. And then on life hacks, right? How you can life hacks, as in how do you live a life easier, faster, better. And also in-depth analysis. So even if some videos which is very informational, and there are some older adults, they will actually watch it even if it takes up to an hour. Unlike youth, right? They cannot go through with it. They'll probably need within 1 minute. I need to know everything I need to know already. So yeah, that's how.
It's not just within 1 minute. Like within 1 second, you have to capture their attention. If not, then they will do this finger movement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, you're right.
Okay, understand. Whereas maybe like 30 plus is maybe more patient. Like even let's say you watch YouTube videos also, maybe like 10-20 minutes also you have like the patience to watch. Whereas I also noticed that maybe like younger audience, they would want to watch like the videos at maybe 1.5x or 2x speed.
Correct. You're right. Okay. Like even on WhatsApp, you'll be able to see that also.
Yeah.
How fast they want to communicate. Yeah.
Understand. Okay, sure. So I think the key lessons is if they want to market to the youth is to make the video like straight to the point and also capture attention within even like 1 to 2 seconds. They have to capture attention already for them to market to the youth. Okay.
Right.
So how can like brands leverage on like your Youth Today platform so that they can build their branding online?
Yeah. So basically on our platform right now, we serve almost 150,000 young people and student leaders, like they use our platform to raise sponsorship monies and for their programs, right? So for brands who wants to tap onto it, basically what we do right now is actually our direct client is actually not the brand themselves, but we work very closely with agencies, right? Agencies such as like the creative agencies, marketing agencies, or digital agencies that's actually handling the budget for the clients. So most of the agencies will actually come out with a brief and direction for the clients. And what we do is that we turbocharge these agencies, right? So with us as a platform and a tool for these agencies, it could help craft, especially for the brands who want to target young people easier, because we open up our platform to all the agencies to actually manage and to engage the young people. So for us, it's definitely if a client has something to work on, then it's best whoever agency that they engage recommend us to them so that we can actually plug and play our platform to empower the agency itself.
How many like youth sort of like micro influencers do you have on your platform?
Total we have 150,000 of them.
150,000. Okay. So the brands would pay like based on the number of followers that these micro influencers have? Like
Usually,
how's the charges like?
Usually we go by stages, right? Because we got the first type of influencers is basically the nano influencers, means daily users of social media. They probably have less than 1,000 followings, right? And they are seeders, right? Then the other type is those above 1,000, like 10,000, 100,000 followers, or even 1,000,000 followers. So it very much depends on the brand's direction. Usually we will kind of pair them up, where we have the micro influencers actually shout out. Then we have the nano influencers to actually make sure we embed the brand awareness there, like spread it out. So we have like one of the campaigns we've done before is like the brand actually got a KOL to shout it out, and then we engage another 1,000 nano influencers to share out the content to make sure it reach every corner of Malaysia. So that's how we work.
Understand. I mean, with 150,000 database of youth, definitely you can reach a very broad audience based on just organic sharing. Okay.
Exactly.
So among all the marketing strategies, could you share a few youth marketing campaigns that have worked well previously for certain brands?
I think most of the brands that are successful, right, usually it's very like either competition based or workshop based or even like leadership kind of based. Like it allows engagements that happen within the brand and also the youth community. So like if they can interact with the brand in a certain way, then that would be actually very successful, because in a way that it helps to viral out the program, and then it gets the youth to be involved with the branding messages as well. So I think at the end of the day, a brand is a brand because people, it relates to people's emotions or it impacts people's life in a certain way. So if the brand can actually launch like workshops or even development programs, right? That is actually the best engagement. So we've worked with few brands which they help basically youth to get jobs, right? Then they launched this ambassador program where they empower young people, to upskill themselves and then to join them to get involved. I think that program itself led us to gather like 50,000 over young people to actually participate in it. So the brand actually got like 10 times back their return of investment. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's maybe just put an example of a business. So let's say F&B. Let's say I own a restaurant. How can I make it like a lot of shares? A lot of people know about my restaurant. How does it work?
Okay, so let's say if you're a restaurant owner, you will probably have. I am assuming, let's say if you're SME, you probably outsource your marketing rather than doing it in-house. That's my assumption based on working with them. So if you outsource your marketing to probably a digital agency, right? Then I would encourage your digital agencies to work with us. So what we do with your digital agency is that we provide, the digital agency will actually prepare all the content, right? Let's say from even the creatives of it, the graphics of it, or even the direction of it. Then what we do is that we get our seeders, depending on, let's say if your F&B is also very location centric. So let's say if your F&B is in Kuala Lumpur, right? Then we will get all the seeders in Kuala Lumpur to actually share it out, build content around it. We also have copywriters that works closely with the agencies, where we come out with the content like, try this out, or even we send our nano influencers down to the F&B outlet to generate content, create content, and actually to build on top of it. So the social media agencies that's managing the client's Facebook page, TikTok, or whatever it is, right? So we actually go into that page itself to share it out, or we actually create content to share it out in like Facebook groups and so forth, so to redirect the traffic to the client's pages. So that's how we do it.
Okay, understand. And I think one thing very important that the brands will always ask, so okay, I'm already in, I want to do this type of youth marketing campaigns, but what is the typical budget that I need to spend? What would you recommend to the brand?
Oh, actually we are very SME friendly as well, compared to also, even though we do serve corporate brands. So it typically ranges from 500 ringgit all the way to 5,000 or 10,000. It very much depends on the clients. So even 500 ringgit per month is also enough to engage like probably like 30 nano influencers, 30 to 40 nano influencers to actually talk about your brand and share it out to different groups. So yeah.
I think if you say 500 a month to start, I think that's very affordable and also a reasonable rate. And the best thing is that you say just now, they can engage 30 nano influencers. Yeah, I think that's a good way to start. Imagine like getting 30 people to review about your restaurants. I think, yeah, that's more than good enough. 500. So if you want to let's say top up to say 1,000 or 2,000, then you can go for a higher range of influencers. But you would say that 500 ringgit is like a good budget to start with, lah, just to like test it out first. Lah.
Exactly.
Okay, understand. So, what are the steps to get started if the companies wish to like start on the Youth Today platform?
Like I mentioned just now. So basically, if they have an agency, then get the agencies to speak to us. So what we'll do is probably the agency can just visit our website, which is www.newstoday.com.
Right.
Then from there, when they contact us, then we actually revert within 24 hours. So we can get things done very, very fast from there.
Okay, but what if like they are a startup brand and they don't have an agency? Like how? So do they communicate with you straight away, or do they need to like engage an agency first?
I think if they're a startup, my strong advice is focus on building your operation flows first. Don't engage us yet. Yeah. So make sure you are very clear on your brand direction, because we did work with a brand before that they have no idea their direction, right? They don't know their own value proposition, which is very difficult for us, right? If we want everybody to talk about you, what is the value you can offer to the community or to the public at large, right? If you have nothing to offer, it's also tough for us to shout it out. And also one thing that I think everybody should also know is that we don't take on political campaigns, we don't take on competitive destruction, meaning to say that you engage us to actually talk bad about another brand. We don't do all that. So I think it's very important for a startup if they could actually focus on a brand direction first before engaging external help on this area.
Understand. All right, it's been very great just to speak with you. So before we go, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate that.
All right, sure. Thanks, Jess, for coming on to the show. Check out Youth Today down below, and I'll see you in the next episode.